welcome back to PracticalStudent.com. We're continuing with the 2005 desk fan project, the ordinary level project, and this is part 3, the making of. I have my piece of Perspex here, 5mm. I'm going to first of all check that it's big enough. So if I look at my drawing, it needs to be 110 by 100. So I have a piece that's 115 by 110. So that's the orientation it's going to be in. The next thing I want to do is to look at the edges and see if any of them are usable as they are. The surfaces of the edge of the sheet, so that should be good. And the others aren't. So I'm going to have that. I'm going to mark this project from the top here, top down, because of the curve at the bottom. So I'm going to have this nice smooth edge at the top. Now I want to check that these angles here are 90 degrees on the piece of Perspex. So when I look at them carefully there, the one's not bad, slightly off. If I check the other side, that's worse. So I'm going to go with this side, but I need to do a tiny bit of filing just here to get it a little bit better. The other tools that I'm going to use are, I'm going to use a pen on the surface here. I'm going to use a compass to do the curves and a scriber just to make little dents in the plastic. Remember, you can't use a punch on Perspex, it'll just break it. There are 5 holes here and they're M4. Now if we look at an M4 tap, it says M4 by 0.7, which means you take 0.7 from 4 to find the drill size or the tapping hole size, which is a 3.3 drill bit, which we have there. So I'm going to just give a quick filing here to tidy it up, and then we get to marking out. Okay, so I just spent less than a minute just filing this edge here to make sure that we had a 90-degree angle here, and as I was filing I was checking with my T-square. So this is our top edge and this is our left side. So if we look at the drawing, how are we going to start? Well, the center line is important here. We need a line going across here to get those 2 holes. This one is slightly deeper, it's 27 down as opposed to 25 for those. I'm going to need a horizontal line here. So I'm going to start, this is my top right corner in the drawing. So I'm going to start by drawing horizontal lines, one at 25, one at 55, one at 80. Now this material is thick enough that you may leave the T-square on the piece on the desk. And there we have our 3 horizontal lines. Now, I have my left edge here. I need a center line and I want a line on the other side to mark what's the excess. So 110 is the total, so 55 across will be the center line and 110 for the total distance. I'm just going to mark 55 and 110. T-square lines down there. And so we have a bit of a start made. Everything on this side is waste. Okay, I think we should identify this curve here. We've already got the horizontal line, this one. So the curve, we're not told where the center is. There's no relationship between this line here and any dimension. However, we are told in the end view that it's 100 in total. And we're told here it's a radius of 50. So from here to here must also be 50. So measure 50 down the line, the center line, mark it, and I'm going to use my scriber to make a little mark there that the dividers, or the compass that I'm using in this case, will have somewhere to sit. I'm now going to set my compass to 50 millimeters. I'm going to start at 10. 10 plus 50 is 60. And I'll draw the curve from the point we just marked. Okay, so we have the outline of the shape all the way around here. We now want to do these two fillets. And the thing with fillets is that whatever the radius is, that's the distance from this edge and this edge to the center. So in this case it's 20. So I'm going to measure a line, or measure a mark down 20. Mark that. I'm going to T-square that on both sides, not all the way across, but on both sides. And I'm going to measure from the edge in 20. And 110 on this side minus 20 is 90. Again, scriber. As we know, our radius is 20, so we need to reset our dividers. I'm going to start at 10. 10 plus 20 is 30. And draw the arcs. And on the other side. So we have our outline of the piece done. That should be pretty clear from that. Now we have to mark out for the 5 holes. So this one is on the center line and it's 27 from the edge, so that's easy enough. Mark down 27 millimeters. That is there. So that's one circle, or the hole that we have to drill. This pair are down 25, we already have that line here, and they're 30 from the center line out, and the same with these two. So we're going to measure 30 millimeters out from the center line on both sides and T-square lines down. So I'm actually going to set 30 on the center line, mark the end of the ruler, and mark 60. T-square those lines most of the way down. So now this is the 25 line, so that's one of the holes we have to drill. This is another, and this is our final one. We now have the 5 locations for the drill holes. Scriber put all of those points to give better location for the drill bit. And that's our part marked out in total. Okay, so what do I have to do to finish off? I am going to first of all drill these 5 locations with a 3.3 drill bit. I'm then going to thread them with an M4 tap. I'm going to use or cut off the corners and the excess material down here outside the curve. Being careful about the flats. I'm then going to file my piece emery paper and polish it up. I'll come back to you at the end of the video with the concluded piece. And that's part 3 completed. I spent quite a bit of time. Hopefully you'll be able to see the nice shine on the surface there all the way around. Spent quite a bit of time, I suppose, solid half hour anyway, using the emery paper and the polishing pads and going back over again until all the scratches were gone. So for 90% of that, I would say it's visually perfect. The few corners, I'll come back and deal with them at another stage. It's just a little bit of sharpness in there. So that's that part completed. With a bit of elbow grease and a bit of decent hard work, you get a lovely surface finish on it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you shortly for part 4.